Welcome to Talking Heads on USA Global TV, starring the one and only wonderful Dr. Jacalyn. It's a prestigious place where world-class influencers and experts meet, and where you'll find the most trusted advisors and coaches for all things in life and business. Visit usaglobaltv.com to sign up for our newsletter, get the value you need, and be first in line to learn about events and giveaways and other valuable content. Connect with us. Email Dr. Jacalyn at usaglobaltv.com to talk about how you can become part of USA Global TV. That's USA Global TV, where the doctor is always in.
Hello, everyone. It's so nice to have you here at USA Global TV and Radio. I'm Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck. I'm the president, founder, and chief listening officer here at our network. We have a brand new show. This show is titled Hot Topic. And if you were used to coming here in this time slot, you know we had What's Trending with Kathy Fulton. And Kathy has decided to retire, and she's taking some time to really spend doing some other things in her life that are super important right now. So thank you, Kathy, so much. We've really enjoyed having you here. So now you'll be able to find this show, Hot Topic, here with me. And our subject today is really important. It's helping children's souls shine. And I have said before, I'm not a parent, but all you have to do is read the news, talk to somebody who does have children. Children have been through a lot since the beginning of this pandemic, with all the changes in the world and everything going on that's drawing our attention. And I feel like it's really important that we focus on our families, we focus on our children, and give them that attention that they need. And as you're aware, there are generations who have grown up with technology, and that's their go-to to communicate with one another. We have a very special person here with us today. Her name is Bracha Goetz, and she's been here before. She's the kind of person who continues to bring value and sharing her experience through her work as an author. She has written, and believe me, at any moment it could change and go up, she's written 42 books so far, and her goal is really to spotlight children and bring key education and learning to them. She's a Harvard graduate, and she is here today to share some of those insights with us. Let's welcome Bracha Goetz to the program. Hello.
Hi there. Hello. Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be
so
back with you.
Here. I love seeing you. Tell us again where you are in the world right now.
Right now, I'm in Israel. Yes.
Fantastic. Well, it looks great on you. You look very happy and very at peace. So that's wonderful. Bracha, you know from the work that you've been doing that children are just gems. They're jewels. They're precious. And for you to be able to give the wisdom and knowledge and education that you do through your work is super powerful and important. Tell us what it is that got you started down this path.
Yeah, I started writing books when my children were little. But let's go back even further. When I was like in third grade, I wrote this poem, and they ended up reading it at the assembly about how books can take you anywhere. When you read a book, you're just traveling on a journey. Who knows where you'll end up? That's how amazing a book is. So obviously, when I was really little, books meant a lot to me, and I loved them. And when I started writing picture books, children's books, which are still my favorite books, when my children were little. And what motivated me? I write books that help children's souls to shine. When I was growing up, I didn't have a spiritual sense of myself. My parents weren't into that. But something I felt was missing. Like I was wondering, I began at age 12 wondering, what's the purpose to life? And I kept looking for that for years. Eventually, it led me down a difficult path of food addictions because of that emptiness inside, trying to fill it with, I say the more empty we feel inside, the more we try to fill it with externalities. So food addictions is a very common thing that people do to fill the emptiness. And so when I finally found what nourished my hungry soul, I began to share it. And the way that I wanted to share it was in children's books, so that young children could fill their souls with joy from the beginning of life and not have to play catch up like so many of us adults. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Bracha. That's beautiful. And I have to share with you, since I saw you, I think it was last week, something you said really resonated with me. And it's about filling the void with something. And people reach for all kinds of things. Food is a common one to reach for. And I shared with you that I've given up so many things because of my health to try to get myself back into check. And interestingly enough, I had an appointment yesterday at the gastroenterologist, and he was asking me a lot of questions. And I said, no, I don't have this, or this anymore because I changed the way I'm living. And he said, wow, that's incredible. But the reason I bring it up is that we feel we're entitled to that high from whatever it is that we can quickly grab or do to stuff those feelings back. I'm entitled to have sugar. I'm entitled to have alcohol. I'm entitled, whatever it is. But the truth is, it's not healthy for us. And if we focus on affirmations and giving back and all the positive things in the world, then we don't have to stuff those feelings anymore. Is that how you see things as well?
I love how you put it. I remember going to a timeshare meeting. They used to have these timeshare meetings a lot. I don't know if they still do. They're trying to sell you a property. And the main thing they keep repeating at these meetings is, you deserve this. You deserve this, you know? And it makes a person feel, hey, yeah, I deserve this, you know? But the truth is, we don't need that property. They're making us feel like we need that, you know? And we don't need the junk food, which harms our body. What we do need is lasting pleasure. We all want lasting pleasure. And guess what? That's exactly what we're here for. We were created to experience lasting pleasure. That's really our whole purpose in life. How do we achieve lasting pleasure? Through gratitude, through valuing what we already have. Not that timeshare that I got to get that, then I'll finally be happy. No, if you're not happy now, that timeshare isn't going to make you happy either. You have to learn the skills, and that's what it's about, teaching children the skills of how to be happy early on in life. And the secret is gratitude, learning to be thankful for what we have, not taking it for granted. There's like a little poem, something like, why should we feel, of course I should have this. I'm entitled to that. Instead of course, change it to source. There's a source for all the goodness in my life. It's not an accident. Like I love, I love the example of an orange. An orange, do we think it just came about like blotch, like when we see a beautiful painting, do we think that someone just threw paint on it and it became this magnificent Rembrandt? No, there was design involved. There was design involved in this incredible orange that, you see, this orange is actually has some green on it still. It wasn't ripe when it was picked, but it's green. It gets camouflaged in with the leaves until it's bright and ready, and then it's calling us that it's ready, beautiful, so we can experience the pleasure of looking at it, smelling it, tasting it. The juiciness stays inside in this incredible peel for months, keeps the juiciness in. And I love to talk about the seeds of eternity that are on the inside. They become a tree. They become an infinite number of more oranges. So there was design involved. There was infinite wisdom and infinite loving kindness in just this orange. So imagine all the things in our lives, the apples, the pomegranates, but our breathing, the fact that we can move our fingers. It's endless, all the things we can be grateful for just in this moment. What Who is rich? This is an ancient saying from the Talmud, those who are happy with what they have. That's a truly rich person.
Yes, I completely agree with that. Thank you for sharing all of that. Something else when I think about young people and children, this is something that just happened to me yesterday. I had a few minutes and I went over to Instagram and I see this beautiful A-list celebrity. We all know who she is. I'm not going to mention names. And she's in this black two-piece pants lingerie with her hair just so, and she's got this giant ring on and she's got a pen in her hand, and the caption is, "This seemed like a really great time to start writing." And I thought, wow, no wonder I can't write as well. I don't look like that. I don't have that kind of like. And then I'm like, wait. But if you don't have the tools or the skills to actually pull back, and many people don't, you could go down that path of, wow, no wonder I can't do this and I'm not good enough and this. And young people and children see this because this is what our the role models, allegedly, I'm just using air quotes on that, are putting out there. And so obviously that's a distraction. But you've created your work. Your work is meaningful and gives concrete takeaways for even adults. So tell us, what is your direction for people who go down that path of following the role models and then get completely lost and confused?
Yeah, I got it. You've seen this book. This is what it's about. I want to be famous.
Yes.
That's what social media draws you to. This boy wanted to be famous. It filled him all day. Fame, that's where I'm going to be happy. So why did I write this book? Because I used to be like this boy. This is who I was. This is actually how I ended up at Harvard. I thought, I don't know, this background that I have, living in this little rent-controlled apartment in Queens. No, I want to be out there in the world and doing things. And fame and fortune. I thought that's where joy is. So I started searching for that. I studied really hard. I got into Harvard, and I love to tell the story about the garden party where I got invited only because of my boyfriend who had these connections. And this is with the Kennedys, the Rockefellers, Moynihans, Bill Gates. He wasn't at the party, but I knew him then. But basically, I got to go to this party that people long to go to. I was like afraid to breathe at this party, and I'm looking at everybody. Everyone's got their glass and their ice cubes clinking, and everybody's looking beyond who they're talking to. They too are looking for something more, for something better than where they're at. And I thought, this is it. I've reached the peak mountaintop where everybody longs to be, and there's nothing up here to see. They're just like us, same people, breathing just like me. There's nothing different about them. And also, what happened at this party, it was a gorgeous day in May. Suddenly, the clouds filled up the sky, and this huge thunderstorm comes down on the garden party. Everybody goes running. All the little tea sandwiches got ruined. Everything. It was the end of the whole party. And I'm thinking to myself, these are like the children of the most powerful people in the world. And even they can't stop the rain from coming down on their party. This is funny, but I felt there's something more. I've been here now. There's nothing up here at what I thought was the peak. It's an illusion. Now, I was so grateful that I got to see that, because the veils of illusion were lifted in those moments. And I saw, this is not it. I don't know what is it, but I'm going to keep searching for what really brings joy in life. So, Anyway, that was me then. And so I wrote this book much more recently about a boy that wants to be famous, and he becomes famous overnight, as anybody could today. Someone takes a YouTube video of him doing something ridiculous. He's so famous, it gets unbelievable. And then he loses his fame just as quickly. Somebody else can do it better. And then they don't care to hear from him. No one wants to interview him anymore. So he is miserable. He doesn't even want to get out of bed. He is so unhappy until finally he realizes, whoa, it's getting hot in here under all these blankets. There's a light inside of me. It's still shining. And when you recognize that, I'm gonna do this. Here we go. Okay, here's this flashlight. This is what we have inside of all of us, a pure light that nothing can do anything to, even abuse, neglect in childhood, it's still shining. But what happens? It gets covered up by layers and layers, and then we don't see the shine anymore. Others don't see it. We don't feel it, but it's still in there shining. So that's it. That's what he recognized. And from that recognition forevermore, it could be a day to celebrate his life, because he understood we all have a uniquely beautiful light inside of us. We don't have to go after this person all dressed up and photoshopped to look like what she really isn't. It's like we all are infinitely beautiful, every one of us within. And when we recognize that, it shines out into the world.
I just love how you put everything so succinctly so that we can just take it in. And as I mentioned, I thought about you from last week. You really left an impression on me. So I know you're doing that right now for so many others. So you've written 42 books so far, which is incredible. You've got your newest book out. People can go to your bookstore online, which we'll show in a few minutes, and they can purchase your books there. Would you like to read from your latest book and tell us what you would like people to take away from it?
Yes, this is my newest book, but next week a new book will be out. Believe it or not. Yeah, like you said, the, the new book is called Don't Read This Book. It's about the internal adversary that we all have inside our brains. It's the part of us that's telling us getting us to focus on what we're lacking instead of what we have. It's the part of us that is making us miserable, basically. And at the end of the book, first of all, I give all these techniques how to override those feelings, because we all are getting those messages of unworthiness all day long. We have to override that. And at the end of the book, I give an example. I give away the secret how to overcome this. One thing is recognizing that it's there and just going, hi, oh yeah, you're that voice that tries to make me miserable. I get it. And there's other ways too, like when it tries to get you to do something like, let's say, take the treats that the mother's hiding up in the cupboard when no one's looking, and you go there to get them and stuff. It's that voice saying, I deserve that. I should get this stuff. And what can you do to override that message? You do something else that's good and joyful. Once you recognize which voice is talking to you, then you can override it. Oh, yeah, you're trying to get me in trouble as usual. Okay, I'm going to do something else that I enjoy that makes me happy. So, yeah, so at the end of the book, I give away the biggest secret and the biggest revelation. This book took me 30 years to write. I wrote it like 30 years ago, but as time went on, I learned more and more wisdom about life, and I kept adding to the book. Each time I wrote it, I felt it's not yet ready. finally, this year, I got the last piece, and that's the secret at the end of the book that I put in, and I knew the book was finally ready to be published. The secret is that internal voice, it's a natural part of life. It really doesn't want to trip us up and get us in trouble. It also was created from infinite loving kindness for us to override it. And that's how we gain our gratitude muscles. When this voice tells us all day long, it's telling us what we're lacking. Oh, look, I don't look like that lady online. I don't look as gorgeous as her. Well, I can't write. I don't look like her. It gets you to focus on what you're lacking. And you say, oh, it's you telling me that stuff again. But really, what it wants to do is for you to override that. Develop your gratitude muscles like we do when we have to lift a weight. That's how we develop it. Push it off. And that's how you become grateful. You develop those gratitude muscles, and really, they're not muscles. Really, they're nerve fibers in your brain. We create more and more synapses of gratitude. We create a groove so that it becomes easier and easier to be grateful as we practice gratitude. Each time it becomes easier the next time because we created those gratitude pathways. So that's what the new book is about. Could you imagine being able to give this to young children and not have to learn it decades later like most adults? So it took me all this time to get to that. That's what I'm putting in the book. That's what's in the book now for children. And it's called Don't Read This Book, because that internal adversary is telling you, don't read it, don't find out my tricks. And at the end of the book, he gives it away. He really did want you to read the book. And he knew you were going to. If he says don't read it, he knows you're going to want to read it. So that's the way it works. And it's all for our benefit. Really, that inner adversary is working on our side as well to help us develop our gratitude muscle. So that's the next book, and this is still my newest book until next week. And this is Let's Stay Healthy, which I wrote during the pandemic when I got requests to write about why should children be exercising, why should they be eating healthy food, why should they be getting enough sleep? Because all of those things were going downhill during the pandemic. So in the book, I explain to children, and of course, adults get the message as well, how to give ourselves what our bodies need. We're not junk, so we don't need junk. It doesn't help us. We don't deserve the junk. There's so many sweet, wonderful treats that we could eat that are designed for our benefit. Like a date or a watermelon. What addictive junk food compares to the sweetness of a date or a watermelon? It's ultimate sweetness. Plus, it has fiber and nutrients to help us. So we just need a lot of education about this, because we've had so much education telling us, it's subliminal education in all the ads telling us to eat the junk, and then you'll be able to be happy on a beach, on an island. One thing has nothing to do with the other. And yet, we bought all that because millions of dollars went into billions into all that advertising to get us to eat junk. Now we got to spread the education to help children realize what's really good for them. So that's what this book is doing.
Fabulous. And congratulations. I'm super excited for Please Don't Read This as well. It draws you in. Right? Yeah, I got to read that. So I would love for you to read to us. That would be beautiful.
Okay, my pleasure. Thank you. Let's stay healthy. I'm not going to read every single page, but I'm going to read parts of it. I don't want what's on my plate. I'm full from all the treats I ate. The soda sloshing around inside was having an exciting ride. in some teeth, it made a hole. And then it really started to roll. I didn't like it making holes in me. I didn't want even one more cavity. Soon it attacked the lining of my tummy. Who knew? I just drank it because it was yummy. And I love to tell people, we would not water the plants that we love with soda. It would kill them in days. But we give it to our children, and it's has a debilitating effect over time. So it's not a great idea. This shows that how it's not that I'm trying to make a fuss, but I've learned that our bodies are on loan to us. So it's my job to take good care of the body my soul gets to wear. Things loaded with sugar make our blood vessels swell. And I really would like to stay well. When our blood vessels swell, that is bad for the heart. To keep it pumping strongly, I can do my part. And sugar can make calcium in our bones leak. Too much sugar at once makes our bones weak. There are many more ways that sugar gets us sick. It may taste good to eat, but that's a big trick. So why do we want to eat all these sugary things? We want more sweetness in our lives. There are so many other ways to bring sweetness into your life. Go out, be in nature, put on music, start dancing and stretching. Do something kind for somebody. That immediately brings sweetness into your life. Text someone that's lonely right away. You're feeling more sweetness. All those sprinkles on top, they look so great. How bad could those little guys be? Wait, I learned that they're made of fake dye. So I don't want them inside me. Bye. I can pick real colorful things today, and each color helps me in a different way. I didn't used to try new food, but look at me now. Ever make a rainbow salad? I'll show you how. Still, there are some times I want what someone else got, but now I can figure out if it's healthy or not. And since I don't want to eat so much junk anymore, the best thing is not to even get it from the store. See that package up on that shelf? I can check its ingredients all by myself. And if sugar is on the list close to the top, then I put it right back on that shelf in that shop. Yes, stuff with lots of sugar and other factory-made glop are things that now just make me stop and think, is this really good to eat? If it harms me, how about a more natural treat? All day long we get to choose what the best thing is for us to use. I want to have energy and I want to grow. I really want to be healthy from head to toe. So there are more healthy habits I'm now glad to do. Okay, I'll share them with you, like brushing my teeth. I didn't know that it makes those germs get right up and go. And if you want to try getting out even more gook, you can floss your teeth. Here we go. Floss your teeth while reading this book. But sitting around too much isn't great. Maybe do some jumping jacks before it's too late. Want to do a push-up? How about a squat? Our bodies were made so they could move a lot. When we run, jump rope, or play ball, we build muscles, and that's not all. By getting some exercise every day, it also helps to keep sickness away. There's another thing I can share with you. It's something you keep being told to do. And even though it seems easy schmeezy, it actually does help us not to get sneezy. Why do we need to wash our hands with soap? Can we see all the germs that are on our hands? Nope. Well, they are there even though they're not seen. So that's why we need soap to get our hands clean. And I know none of us like to go to bed. We do almost anything else instead. But now I don't want to stay up so late, 'cause going to sleep really makes me feel great. When I get enough sleep, I'm a happier guy. I don't get sick as much, and I kind of know why. When we're sleeping, our bodies get to grow and repair. Did you know it's a really good thing to give our bodies good care? I'm not going to finish the whole book. There's a little more, but I just want to say even teenagers have contacted me to say how this book affected them. They picked it up when no one was looking because it's really for their younger sibs, but they realize that teens typically don't like to go to sleep at all. They realize they feel so much better when they do, that they have more energy and they're happier the next day. So it's just really important. I've told you, children's books affect every age level. The youngest children, teens who may be in the house and see the book, the adults reading the book to the children, parents and grandparents, every age level gets affected by the simple messages in children's books.
Oh my goodness. I am just blown away by what you just shared. I mean, first of all, just to go back to the beginning, let's say people seriously took their can of soda and instead of watering their plants, they use soda. I mean, that plant is going to be dead. It's going to be, and and it's painful because it's a living thing. Yet we
Yes.
put it in our bodies. I don't, you don't, but we know people who do, and we don't think anything of it. It's so well written, especially about your teeth. People think, oh, it's a liquid. Just no, it's taking a trip, and wherever it goes, it's leaving its mark. Right? It's just
Right. These things were designed for our bodies. So they're good for us. When we eat the stuff that wasn't designed for our bodies, it's not good for us. It's that simple. And the junk food is purposely designed to be as delicious as possible and addictive, while this is designed to be delicious and nutritious. Totally different.
And I love what you also said earlier because those fruits have that sweetness. They can quench that desire that people have for sugar. I know last night I had frozen wild blueberries, which I loved eating
Ah,
frozen, and pomegranate
beautiful.
seeds. So nice. I love it. So good.
Beautiful.
And I
Beautiful.
also like,
It fills you
yeah,
with gratitude. It fills you with rejoicing. That's
it's
great.
it so does. And I love what you shared about the labels, that all you have to do is pick up the package and look, and it's like, what is this? 25 letters or more. And by the way, as you well know, there are many ways to camouflage sugar. Sugar can be hidden in many different ways. Any that you can think of as ingredients. I think of what's it called? Corn something or
Corn
other.
syrup. They call it
Thank you.
corn syrup, and it's sugar. Right. Right.
Yeah. Can you think of any other ingredients that are kind of hidden as sugar?
Well, actually, also let's talk about the artificial sweeteners, which are also
Yeah.
very dangerous for our health. They don't do anything good for us, and we think we're doing something good by not eating sugar and eating artificial, but Stick with the real things.
The
Yes.
real deal, the things that come out of the earth or off of trees.
Yes.
And
Yes.
something else that I want to add, I noticed this a long time ago. They take the sugar out, but then it's high in carbs or high in preservatives or high in salt because they have to do something to make it taste
Exactly.
good. So you want to buy it. So when you're buying
Exactly.
anything in a package, you have to think to yourself, they've put something in here so that it can stay longer in your home in that package.
Exactly. Stick to the rims of the supermarket except for the toilet paper. I mean, basically, that's it. Everything you
Yeah.
need is probably on the rims of the supermarket. Yes.
It's so true. And by the way, this is another topic we can explore another time, but we've been interviewing people about what's going on in the oceans with the plastic pollution. And something that really came to light for me, because I'm a big fish eater, is that because the oceans are so polluted with plastic, these plastic pieces are turning into microplastics. Fish are getting stuck in fishermen nets, and
Yes.
the plastic is actually going into the fish. So,
Yes.
we just
Yes.
interviewed someone yesterday, so now there's a call for people to stop eating as much fish, which I don't know how I feel about that. What are your
Oh,
thoughts?
oh, that's so sad. I
Yeah,
we hopefully will change things around. Go back to the garden we were meant to live in and the beautiful oceans. Oh my goodness. We've got lots of work to do. That's for
we sure
sure.
do,
And
but
I got
you're
to say, I
yeah.
just want to say that you look more beautiful than ever. I know you've been eating in a healthier way and you can see it. You can see it not only in your looks, but like I said before, this peacefulness is now shining out of you. It's so beautiful. You see, I've known you now for a couple of years and I see a transformation that's happening and it's so beautiful. Yeah.
Aw, I have tears in my eyes. Thank you. That's
Oh,
so nice. I really appreciate that. And as I mentioned at the top of the show, you look fabulous. You look like you're in your element, in your glory. I just before we go, I do want to bring up your website. I think it's really important for people to see. Let me just take a moment here and share my screen. So for those of you who are on the radio, we are going to Bracha's website, which is her last name, Goetz bookshop, BOOKSHOP.com. It's all one word, Gets Bookshop. So tell us about this wonderful website. I know your family helps you with it. Tell us more.
yeah, they just put up the new release that people can only pre-order now because it'll be out in like a week. And there it is. Don't read this book. It's really a funny book. You have to because we had to get into the thinking of this internal adversary. You can call it the nasty nagger that's always trying to get us to do something wrong and always trying to make us miserable with all these messages all day long. Oh, you're missing out on that. Oh, you're lacking that. Oh, you're not as good as him. You don't look as great as her all day long. And we got to override that with the positive messages. And oh my gosh, this is how we have an awesome time in life, filling our lives with gratitude, filling ourselves up. That's what fills the emptiness within, the gratitude. It's really that simple. And yes, if it's not so simple. If a person has been through abuse or neglect as a child, they may need therapeutic intervention as well to lift all those coverings of protection that protect them from pain. But it's you also have to be nourishing your soul at the same time, filling it with gratitude in the smallest ways, enjoying the little things in life, and that's how you build the gratitude grooves in your mind, in your body, in your soul. So yeah, and the website takes you to the pleasure ladder. You can find it there too. We have a place where you can download the pleasure ladder. You could put it on your fridge. You could put it on your cupboard. When you feel like overeating it, you'll get other ideas of what else you could do, because identify what brings you more pleasure than eating, and then you'll have it so much easier. And I, we also say that it takes 400 repetitions to form new synapses in the brain. If you do it joyfully, 10 to 20 repetitions, and you've got the new habit down. It's that simple. Do it with joy. Add more joy to your life. Restrictive diets don't work for long. If you wanted a life change, add more pleasure to your life. And that's adding things that bring you gratitude. Yeah. And that's, you have them already in your life right now. Just start appreciating and recognizing and valuing all the things we normally take for granted.
Such a beautiful message. Thank you so much for sharing that. One thing I just want to leave you with, I am in Florida now for the next 8 months, and I went outside and there was this giant green lizard, giant, like iguana, I'm sorry, iguana. And it was up on the roof and it just was sitting there just, and I thought to myself, what a work of art, even down to the
Wow.
claws that it has. It was given the things that it needs to
Wow.
survive. And that's how we are as well. But we get distracted and thinking, no, I need more than what I have. What I have is not enough. And to your point about those fruits, we have what we need. We were given by Mother Earth what it is that we need. Let's put the distractions aside. Let's purchase as many of your books as possible. And let's help our children understand what's really important in life.
Yes. You summed it up beautifully. Beautiful.
Final words from you for today, Bracha.
You know, it's in science. It's really science. Spirituality is in science. The first law of thermodynamics: energy is never lost or destroyed. This is not it. Our bodies, they're going to eventually crumble and become dust in the earth. But no energy is ever lost or destroyed. We have a spirit. We're all, in essence, spiritual beings, and this goes on and on. This light that we're shining, it's eternal. It's always going to be shining. So let's take care, nourish our souls with gratitude.
Beautiful. Amen to that. Thank you so much, Bracha. Please do go over to her website, Goetz, her last name, Goetz, bookshop.com. We look forward to welcoming you back to celebrate your next book. And I'm just so happy for you and wish you continued success.
Thank you. You too. Continued success. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye for now. We'll see you again soon. Thank you so much for joining us today for our first episode of Hot Topic. If you have a hot topic that you like to share, go over to our website. We have some exciting announcements also. Our website, usaglobaltv.com, will soon be USA Global TV and radio.com. You'll be able to get to us either way. And as of January, we will be live streaming from our website. We'll be saying goodbye to social media, and we'll be live streaming right from USA Global TV and radio, which I'm super excited about. Also, for all of our friends who are elevated listeners, you've taken my course, The Power of Listening. We have a brand new show coming out called The Spelling Bee, and you'll be competing against each other to see how well you listen to the words. And of course, if you know what the meaning of the word is, that's extra points. You'll be competing for fabulous prizes and opportunities to meet other people who have the same passion about listening at an elevated level. That's all for now. We'll be back with the Corner Bookstore. Please do join us then. And again, you can go over to our YouTube channel, USA Global TV and Radio, and you can watch all of our shows there. They are in playlists for the title of each show. Thank you again for now. We'll see you soon. Bye.